Well now, my dear dreamers, welcome back to Forgotten Stories. I've been telling tales like this for many years, but the magic never changes. It's always just you and me, here in the quiet, sharing stories the world almost forgot. Tell me, where are you listening from tonight? Maybe you're curled up on the couch, maybe you're in bed with the lights out, or maybe you're out walking under the street lamps, letting my voice keep you company. Write it in the comments for me. And if your friends, your fellow dreamers couldn't make it here tonight, remind them tomorrow, because this one they'll want to hear. Now, I should warn you, somewhere along the way, I'll step away for a short break. Just a minute, enough to stretch my legs. I'll tell you before it happens, so you're not left wondering if I wandered off and forgot you. And when I come back, we'll pick up exactly where we left off. Tonight's story, it's been gnawing at the edges of history for more than 60 years. We're going back to November 22nd, 1963, Dallas, Texas, the day the world watched as President John F. Kennedy was killed. But this isn't just his story. It's about someone else, a woman in a scarf, standing calm in the middle of chaos, camera in her hands. They called her the Babushka Lady. She filmed something the world was never allowed to see. And then she vanished. So did her film. In the next few minutes, you and I will walk into Dealey Plaza together. We'll hear the crowd, feel the November sun, smell the city air, and we'll see her, standing there, as if she's right in front of us. So, settle in, dreamers. Loosen your shoulders. Take a slow breath. Because once we step into that moment, we're not coming back until the story is told. All right? Ready? Let's take that first step into 1963 and keep your eyes open. Dallas, Texas, November 22nd, 1963. It's the kind of morning where the sun catches the chrome on parked cars, turning it into silver fire. The air is crisp, cool enough for a jacket, warm enough to roll up your sleeves. Dealey Plaza is alive. Flags snap in the breeze. People wave, their voices melting into a happy roar. You can smell fresh cut grass from the plaza lawns, and just a hint of car exhaust drifting between the buildings. Every window along the route is crowded. Office workers in ties and dresses, mothers holding their children up high, farmers in worn boots. Politics aside, the President of the United States is here, and nobody wants to miss it. Somewhere in that crowd is a woman. She's wearing a plain overcoat,
a scarf tied under her chin. The scarf has a pattern, maybe floral. A babushka scarf, as they'd later call it, borrowing the Russian word for grandmother. In her hands, not a tourist's little snapshot camera, but a movie camera, the kind you wind by hand, the kind that runs out of film quick. She's calm, not cheering, not waving, just watching and filming. And now, here comes the motorcade. A deep blue Lincoln Continental, top down. President Kennedy sits in the back seat, smiling. Beside him, Jackie Kennedy in her pink suit, her matching pillbox hat catching the sunlight. Her gloved hand lifts in a gentle wave. Governor Connolly sits in front, his wife beside him, both smiling for the crowd. Voices call out, "Mr. President, over here!" Children wave their little flags until their arms ache. But the Babushka Lady, she doesn't wave. Her camera tracks the car smoothly, almost like she knew exactly where to stand for the perfect shot. Later, when people study every frame of film from that day, they'll notice her, always steady, always in the right place, almost as if she knew where to be before anyone else did. In just a few moments, history will split open. The laughter will vanish. The city will fall silent, except for the screams. And through it all, she'll still be filming. Now, dreamers, before we go any further, I told you earlier I'd be taking a short break at some point. That's still coming up, but not yet. For now, I want you to imagine standing right there in the plaza, shoulder to shoulder with strangers. The sun is warm on your face. The president is just 10 feet away. And there, just off to your left, is that woman in the scarf. Would you notice her? Or would she blend in, just another face in the crowd? Think about that, because in our next moments together, everything is about to change.
It's 12:30 in the afternoon. The president's car is moving down Elm Street. And then it happens. Crack. 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 3 shots tear through the air. The cheers twist into screams. People duck, some run, others freeze in place. President Kennedy slumps forward, his head falling toward Jackie. A dark stain begins to spread across her pink suit. The air feels heavier now, like the whole world just stopped breathing. But through all this, the Babushka Lady doesn't run. She stands, firm, camera raised, filming. The motorcade speeds up, tires screeching, racing toward Parkland Hospital. Secret Service agents shout, wave people back. Witnesses later remember her scarf, her stillness, the way her hands never lowered that camera. Imagine the world exploding around you, and you just keep filming. Could you do that? Could you stay that calm?
By now, sirens are beginning to wail in the distance. People are crying, some are praying, some are looking toward the grassy knoll, pointing, shouting. And somewhere in all this chaos, that woman is still there, camera steady, eyes fixed. No one knows her name. Dreamers, we're going to pause here for just a moment. I'll be stepping away for a short break. Don't go anywhere, because when I come back, we'll follow the Babushka Lady through the moments after the shots, the moments that turned her from a bystander into one of history's greatest mysteries. Dreamers, picture this. The gunfire has stopped, but the plaza is still trembling with panic. You can smell the burnt gunpowder, sharp, metallic. It clings to the cold November air like a shadow you can't shake. People gather in small clusters, whispering, pointing. Some toward the Texas Book Depository, others toward the grassy knoll. Arguments break out, voices rise and fall. Everyone is certain they know what happened, yet no one agrees. And then there she is, the Babushka Lady, still filming. Her scarf catches the wind, her camera steady in her hands. Now, here's where it gets strange, dreamers. Instead of running toward the chaos, she walks away. Not fast, not slow, just a steady pace, like she knows exactly where she's going. Some witnesses later claimed she headed toward Main Street. Others say she stopped briefly, spoke to two men. But no one could tell you what was said or who they were. And then she's gone, just like that. The FBI, the Secret Service, they would soon collect every scrap of footage, every photograph they could get their hands on. But her film, her angle, her point of view, never turned in, never shown on the evening news. Now tell me, dreamers, if you had that film, a front row seat to history, would you hide it, or would you share it with the world? That's the mystery that keeps this story alive, because sometimes the truth doesn't vanish. It's hidden.
Dreamers, the moment she vanished, the hunt began. In the hours after the assassination, the FBI and Secret Service worked frantically. Every person with a camera, every roll of film was tracked down. And yet, no one could find her. Some say she slipped into the crowd and blended in with the chaos. Others whisper she was quietly escorted away by men in suits who never gave their names. Over the years, theories multiplied. Photographers studied every frame, every photograph taken that day, circling her image in red ink, zooming in on the blur of her face. There were leads. A woman in Pennsylvania who claimed to be her. Another in Texas who remembered filming that morning. But each story fell apart under the smallest of questions. And here's the part that keeps historians awake at night. If her film had surfaced, it might have shown the grassy knoll,
It might have caught the motorcade from an angle no one else had. It might have answered the question, was there only one shooter? But the reel remains missing, and the Babushka Lady remains a ghost in the history books. Dreamers, if she's still out there, or if someone's holding that film in a dusty box somewhere, imagine the power they have. Would you give it to the world, or would you keep it locked away forever?